In the summer of 2000, I came here to the banks of the Grand River, southern Ontario, looking for a community that no longer exists. It was called Davisville, or Davis's Hamlet. It was a cluster of Mohawk cabins led by a chief, Chief Thomas Davis. It was occupied sometime between 1800 and 1840. And it was at a time in Ontario's history that saw remarkable changes sweeping across the landscape and affecting the people of Davisville, the Mohawks and the Mississaugas that lived here in the early 19th century, in remarkable way. Over the course of 5 years, I led an archaeological team exploring this stretch of the river, looking for traces of Davisville. You're going to see the methods that we use to illuminate the history that happened here at Davisville. Our search began with fragments of information, historical records, old maps, and oral history from the living community.
What I know of the archaeology at the Davisville site, I'm actually fairly impressed with. It's very respectful of our contemporary beliefs about our past. I personally am very intrigued by what they're finding because it is an element of our history that's less known in the documentary past than other elements of our community. I think also it establishes an even stronger relationship to what today is seen as Brantford, but what certainly is all a part of the larger Grand River Tract. I'm very excited for what is being found there and what will be found there.
That's the importance of this site, is that we're getting a glimpse of life that was not recorded in any documentary way.
Dr. Donald Smith of the University of Calgary wrote the definitive biography of Peter Jones.
This is a very, very important spot. The key players here, of course, the key one is Thomas Davis, who was a Mohawk chief, who Revolutionary War veteran, also a veteran of the War of 1812. And Peter Jones, a remarkable individual, the son of a surveyor and his Mississauga companion. His first formative years, his Methodist ministry work, was here, right at this spot.
What often gets missed or overlooked in those discussions when they find things like China is the idea that our people were practical. A lot of people will use it as a symbol of acculturation, but just because you adapt a different technology doesn't change who you are culturally.
Over the course of the archaeological work, we uncovered thousands of artifacts that have shed light on the everyday life of the inhabitants of Davisville. You could say that ultimately, every human story is written in the earth.